Imagine being born into a world where love was allowed, but freedom was not guaranteed, where marriage could save your life or quietly destroy it, where games were not just games, but training for survival, power, and death. Ancient Egypt is remembered for pyramids, for gods, for gold, but behind closed doors, in homes made of mud and stone, people loved, married, argued, cheated, and escaped reality through games. And some of those games were designed to prepare you for the afterlife. This is not the Egypt you were taught. This is the Egypt they lived in. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Echoes of History, where lost voices of the past finally get to speak. Tonight, we are stepping away from temples and into bedrooms, away from rituals and into relationships, to uncover how ancient Egyptians married and how they played games to survive their world. Marriage in ancient Egypt was not about weddings. There were no grand ceremonies, no priests, no vows spoken before gods. Marriage began quietly. A man moved into a woman's home, or a woman into a man's. That was it. No permission required. But behind this simplicity was strict reality. Marriage contracts existed, written on papyrus. They listed property ownership, divorce terms, punishments for betrayal. Love was optional. Security was not. Women had more rights than in many ancient societies. They could own property, divorce their husbands, and keep their dowry. But freedom came with danger. A wrong marriage could trap you for life. Love existed. Poems were written. Songs were sung. Affection was shown publicly. But betrayal was feared. Adultery could destroy families. For women, being accused, even falsely, could lead to punishment, exile, or disappearance from records. For men, punishment depended on status. The higher your rank, the safer you were. Marriage was not equal. It was balanced by power and fear. Life in ancient Egypt was exhausting. Labor, heat, disease, death everywhere. Games were not entertainment. They were escape. They were education. They were preparation for death. Children learned strategy. Adults learned patience. The elderly learned acceptance. Games taught Egyptians how to think, how to wait, and how to lose. The most famous game was Senet, a simple board, small pieces, but its meaning was terrifying. Each move represented the soul's journey through the afterlife. Winning meant rebirth. Losing meant being trapped forever. People played Senet inside homes and inside tombs because Egyptians believed if you mastered the game in life, you could survive death. Games were not played for fun. They were rehearsals for eternity. Marriage controlled bodies. Games controlled minds. Together, they kept society stable. Husbands learned dominance. Wives learned endurance. Children learned obedience. Even joy was regulated. Nothing in Egypt was random. Not love, not play, not even laughter. Everything served order. Here is the truth. History avoids. Ancient Egyptians were not obsessed with death. They were obsessed with control. Marriage controlled families. Games controlled thoughts. Religion controlled fear. And yet, they still loved. They still laughed. They still hoped. In a world where death was always near, love was survival. And games were how they practiced letting go. Ancient Egypt did not teach people how to live forever. It taught them how to live knowing they wouldn't. And that is the real history.